Have you seen the label maker? Have you seen the label maker? What about you, Cheyenne? Have you seen the label maker? You have? Where is it? Oh, Sleepy. Ugh, look at this line. This is tragic. I've been in line now for almost 10 minutes. I don't understand why it's so popping on a Thursday morning at 9 a.m. I'd say, don't you people have jobs? But maybe they're all teachers. Can you imagine if this was a school day and I actually had someplace I needed to be? I just waited basically a half hour in line for 3 donuts and 2 drinks. And I could have gotten these 2 drinks at my Walmart, but my Walmart doesn't have donuts yet. But I wanted pumpkin. It's pumpkin season. Okay, here we are. We are at school. Let's log in, tackle this loveliness down here, and then we'll talk curriculum and such. I realized as I was editing yesterday that I kept referring to the unique learning system and the stuff that I was printing as 3 for the kids and 1 for me. And I realized that that kind of sounded like I only had 3 students. No, I only have 3 students that are like self-contained, and then the others are like the push and pull out model. Anything like self-contained is generally unique learning system, and then like interventions and stuff like that is down here, but we'll talk about that. And of course, Google Chrome is not loading on the smartboard, but it's not the computer because I have Ethernet. And if I go to hello, I don't like Edge, but obviously it's working because this is monitoring software. Yeah, so why is this working and not Chrome? Google, you got an outage or something? Guess we gotta use the laptop. Okay, so here's our before. I'm gonna take everything out of there and put it on the table cleaned out so we can see where we need to start for this coming school year. So basically, this is 9 different groups of students' materials that I was using last year. But you don't notice, like, there's 2 4th grade, so like I had a group and Para had a group. So sometimes it's not like 9 groups in a day, and that's not counting like little things I'm doing with ULS or like my math talk, my morning meeting, social skills, just stuff like that. And maybe it'll have room for a bin this year. I don't know, I haven't gotten that far. Okay, so first of the day, that's like social skills, check-in. If a student has a visual schedule, it'd be at like that time of the day. Right there is going to be the Made For Me literacy coins unit, which is just another thing that I need to print and go through, but I haven't done it yet because that's definitely not a big deal if I don't get to it the first week of school. Those little dots, I think, is from when they wax the floor. And then this is phonics, so that's just a group of kids doing functional phonics, which is our new phonics curriculum that replaced foundations. And the nice thing is this one goes all the way up to 4th grade, so it'll do morphology in the 4th grade level. So that's really nice that it goes higher than 2nd grade. When we had foundations, it was only K2. That's a math group. That's another math group. I really like to do connecting math concepts. So this is an orange group and this is a red group, but I also have different things like intermix. So you'll see this kid is also doing touch math counting kit, which makes sense because this is the kindergarten level of connecting math concepts, and learning to count using touch math is right at the kindergarten level. That's a reading mastery group, and it is a 5th grade group. So they're in the end of orange, almost to green. They're also in a reading 180 group at a different time of the day, and that's like a computer portion. And then this is another 5th grade group, and they're also doing reading mastery, and they're in green. But both of these groups are doing daily oral language because our capitalization and punctuation skills could use some work. This is gonna be our news to you packets. There's a reading group. And then at the end of the day, there's a kid that'll be doing sound partners, and he'll also have decodable books. I just haven't gotten them yet. In a perfect world, he'd have another black bin like this, and I think I probably have them somewhere. I'm kind of a bin hoarder. And then this right here is just like a 5th grade math group, and they're not in a connecting math concepts book because they're just doing a reteach of like what the actual curriculum is doing. So like when they do unit rate, they'll work on this. So like a pre-teach, reteach model. Those 5th graders right there also are going to be working on this. We started a little bit last year when they were actually in 4th grade. I have to go to my parents' house and pick up some mail, so I'm gonna use their saw thing in the basement to get rid of the the spine right here. That way you can whole bunch it and put it in a binder. And that's what I prefer. Like this functional phonics, the yellow, that's a workbook page that I cut the spine off and I hole punched it. I really don't like it when it's a curriculum book like this if I have to make copies for multiple students. It's so much easier to take a page out and be able to copy it in the printer in the copy machine without having to worry about like where the spine is. And I've said it before, like I could teach first day of school, like just continue on exactly where we left it. At the moment, my caseload is all returning students or they're kindergartners. And with kindergartners, it's a lot of like in-class support and not necessarily needing intervention. So with a kindergartner, I do like to do one 30-minute reading intervention, but it's usually just the beginning levels of reading mastery or functional phonics. So I have them set up in a reading mastery group currently, but we'll just see once they get to me. There's only so much you can do from data that's coming from someone else and you haven't actually met the kid. And I don't know if that seems like a lot. The interventions I just showed you right here and the stuff that's on the ULS board. I don't know if that seems like a lot. There's not many people on YouTube that you can just see how they teach and compare like your caseloads and your groups to others. You're kind of just like off in your own little world. That's kind of like special education, right? I was joking at a meeting I was at yesterday. They were talking about PLCs and I was like, a PLC? You mean a PL me? Because I'm the only special education teacher here. And even if there were more of us, I doubt we would have time to ever meet with each other. Like I talk to special ed teachers at other schools, yeah, but do we ever have time to actually meet and talk about data and curriculum? No, because our schedules, they don't line up. And most of the time, like, I don't really have a prep and I don't really have a lunch. It's all, like, even though it's supposed to be protected, it just never happens. However, this year it is set up though. I'll have a lunch and I'll have a prep period. The prep period, I think, is pretty safe. Pretty much all my students will be at recess at that time. So unless something crazy is going down at recess, I should have a half hour of time to myself, which is great. And then lunchtime, sometimes kids eat in here. And I don't mind if they eat in here as long as they're being quiet, because if they're not eating with me, chances are they're in the cafeteria causing havoc, and nobody wants chaos and havoc when you're trying to eat your lunch. I did kind of set up my unique learning system drawers. I guess I'll show you, even though I'm not happy with it, because I looked around here and I can't find my label maker, which means it is in my house. It could be in the basement. I've really only dedicated like 10 minutes to it this morning looking for it, because I was like, it could be at school, because there was a point last year where I was going to bring the label maker, because I started using toothbrush holders for students' pencils because I was tired of them like eating the erasers or throwing them away and just being reckless with them. So I gave them a toothbrush holder with their name on it in Sharpie, and you can see it didn't last. But then I would just give them a new pencil every month, and that way, like, this kid has a red sparkly pencil and then a rainbow pencil. They're not stuck using something like this where, you know, all the good pencils have been taken. Their tube, their pencil. And I was going to write their name on there with the label maker. Well, can't find the label maker. I thought that maybe I'd brought the label maker to school intending to do that and then just didn't do it. But I haven't found the label maker. And I would have found it when I was unpacking everything from the good old hallway. And the label I use is apparently quite effective. I tried picking it off with my nails. I tried the hand sanitizer trick too, but that didn't really work either. But I think honestly I'll just put the new label over the old label and call that a day. So here's my thoughts. Right here we're gonna have the vocabulary words, and I'll just keep them in the pouch. So like this is the pouch that normally houses all of this stuff. That way at the end of the unit it's just right here. And then we've got everything for the spelling list 1, spelling list 2, spelling list 3, spelling list 4. This is lesson 8 of rhyming. This is actually not available anymore. They changed it, but I really liked this. Comes with these little books that you can use to correlate. So fire, let's see, fire, heat, near, treat. Okay, so heat, seat, treat, eat. So just different little rhyming things. So then I put any of my fun little rhyming books in here. And then they also have fog, frog, dog, bug, click, pick, lick, sick. So that goes with lesson 8. Well, they changed lesson 8 to being this poppet situation, which is great. Like, that's nice. I'm going to use my actual poppet cubes on top of the poppet. And then for spell the sounds and spell the words, we're just going to use magnetic letters or eraser letters. See the little poppet cubes right there. So obviously this doesn't have the digital anymore because it doesn't actually exist on their website anymore, but I liked it and I already had all the copies made, so we'll just keep using that whenever we've got a little moment of time. And then here's the CVC words. So these are still on there. I just print them 2 pages per sheet, so it's not so big. And they're not in any particular order. And it's multiple units at once, so I have 2 of those. So that's 3 years of the units all just intermixed. So then here it's gonna be right using the word, letter of the day, and then CVC words, I think, if I'm following this correctly. I mean, I've got the plan in my head. I just need to find the label maker to execute the plan. And these little lovelies are gonna go in my future furniture purchase up here. Speaking of my future furniture purchase, that little pile right there is all my girls on the run stuff. So I went through every 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade girl in the school and wrote their name and got the packet together so I can give that out on Meet the Teacher Day. And so I've been here for like 5 hours, and I've probably only spent an hour of that like being seriously productive, because the janitor and the secretary were talking to me, and then the janitor actually ended up cooking hamburgers for everybody. So then we had lunch together and we were talking, and so like, was I super productive today? Not really. Was I getting paid for today? No. So I don't feel bad not being productive when I'm just like loafing around or like scrolling social media, because, you know, this is my summer still. Let's pack this up and head to my parents' house.